y'all, Dixie here. Today I want to talk to you about my favorite wild edibles that I experienced or learned about or came in contact with. During my thru hike, there were definitely 5 that were like the best 5 that I experienced. So I'm going to cover my top 5. Now first, let me say foraging can be so much fun, and I'm really new to it, but it can be a lot of fun, but it can also be dangerous. So you have to make sure that what you're picking and eating is what you think it is. There are a lot of lookalikes, especially in mushrooms, to where you're like, oh yeah, this is definitely a morel, but it's a lookalike and it'll make you sick. So it's really best to have a mentor, somebody to go out and show you like, this is what you're looking for and some characteristics about it. So don't use this video as like a how-to forage. I don't want anybody getting sick out there, but I just want you to be aware that there are just probably thousands of different medicinal plants and wild edibles out there that you can enjoy. Fortunately, I had folks around me that were much more experienced and, you know, were able to safely show me different things that I could eat and enjoy. I started my northbound hike on March 29th and ended in Maine in October. So if you're going northbound, then you will likely see these things, and some of them you're familiar with and some of them you may not be. Sobo, I'm not really sure exactly what you'll see, so if anybody was Sobo and can kind of add to this list, then please do so. Now, why would anybody, especially if it might be dangerous, want to pick wild edibles and eat them? Well, when you're doing an extended backpacking trip and you're eating out of a box or a full packet of tuna and chicken for a while and pepperoni, you get tired of the same old, and you really start to have an appreciation for good, fresh food, and it's good for you. All right, so to begin, number 5 on my top list of wild edibles is the wild leek, more commonly known as a ramp. They're kind of garlicky, oniony, and they're a bulb. So when you harvest these, because the population's tending to decline, when folks harvest, they just snatch them up out of the ground. When you harvest these, you're going to kind of dig the dirt aside and cut at the bottom of the bulb, leaving, you know, roots, so that next year they can produce more in that same spot. You'll recognize ramps by their leaves. They have either 1 to 2 broad leaves, and they're about like 1 inch to 2 inches wide, and then like 4 inches to maybe a foot long. To enjoy the ramps, you can actually eat the bulb or the greens or both. So what I did is I just like cut up the greens and then sliced up the bulb and threw it all in a pot together, and again added some olive oil, some salt and pepper, and just went to town. And you could throw them into your pasta or anything that you want to add that garlicky, oniony flavor to, or if you don't really like that, the leaves are more mild. Number 4 on my list of wild edibles is crawfish. Now, I know that's not really a wild plant, but it is still edible, and we did find them out on the Appalachian Trail. So Park went hunting in some of the creeks and found some crawfish. We just dug them out of the creek. We boiled some water, and somebody had some kind of Cajun seasoning in their pack, so we, you know, dropped them in, and I think he let them purge for several hours before we cooked them that day. And it was actually the day that we took a 0 in the woods and just hung out and played cards and just enjoyed doing nothing but sitting in the woods, and it was really a great time. What you doing, Park?
Boiling crawdads or crayfish or
Crawfish,
but not craydads. Nobody says that.
Oh, interesting.
well, we gotta start that.
Yeah.
Craydads.
A lot of the people had never had crawfish before, so they were a little freaked out by it, but I think everyone pretty much liked it. I will warn y'all though that some states do require you to have a fishing license to catch crawfish, so make sure you're not breaking any laws, or, you know, saying that I encourage you to break any laws, but just check that out and make sure that you are aware of what you are doing or risking. I don't think that even if they do require a fishing license, that any of the states have like a limit on the amount of crawfish that you can catch. And ranked number 3 on my list is chicken of the woods. Now, there aren't literally chickens running around in the woods, but there is something that tastes just as good as chicken that grows on trees, and it is a mushroom. So chicken of the woods is like an orangish, yellowish color, and they grow like in shelves on the tree, hence the nickname sulfur shelf mushroom. Some people say that chicken of the woods tastes kind of like chicken, and that for vegetarians they can sub chicken of the woods in different dishes in the place of chicken. I don't know that it necessarily tastes like chicken to me, but it was really good. And what we did is we just, over the fire in a pot, sauteed it in a little olive oil and maybe put some salt and pepper on it. It was absolutely delicious. When selecting your chicken of the woods, you want to go for the stuff that's like new growth and more tender, because the older it gets and the harder it gets, you know, it's just not quite as tasty. Supposedly, like chicken of the woods is also high in protein. Coming in second place on my list of wild edibles are fiddleheads. So fiddleheads are essentially just the wound up fronds of a fern before they like unravel. So you're gonna catch these real early in the spring when they start poking up out of the ground, and you just slice them off, and again, like the chicken of the woods, you can just put it in a little olive oil and saute it in a pot. You know, even some seasoning of some sort, pepper and salt will do just fine. I was surprised to learn that fiddleheads are actually a decent source of omega-3 and 6 and iron and fiber. And for first place, my favorite wild edible along the Appalachian Trail, I kind of cheated on this one and chose all of the berries. The first berry I remember spotting, I was already familiar with, blueberries. So I was pretty excited to see those. And I saw those probably from about Tennessee all the way to New York. I'd never had wild strawberries before, but I first saw those in Virginia. And also in Virginia, I noticed on the ground one day these berries that looked like blackberries, but they were a little different. I was looking around for blackberry bushes and didn't see them anywhere. And then I noticed up above there was a tree that had these berries in them. And I was like, I have never seen blackberries in a tree before. So I Googled to find out what it was, literally blackberries in a tree. And mulberries. So I didn't even know what a mulberry tree looked like, but I do now, and they were also delicious. I was able to pick some wild cherries in Maryland, and I had never seen cherries growing wild like that before. And actually Maryland was the only place that I found the cherries. But my favorite of all of the berries was the wineberry, and it's actually a type of raspberry, and it's crazy looking because on the stem leading up to the berry there are like these little purple hairs, so you'll definitely recognize it. But what can you do with these berries other than just eat them as a snack? Well, I like to put them in water. So you have like fresh spring water, and you put them in a bottle and shake it up, and then you have like this fruit infused water that is just so good. Also, you can put them in oatmeal. And if you're like me and you meet any chef-like people on the trail, like my friend Perk, who one morning made us a blueberry pie crust crumble, then you will definitely be in for a treat. And hopefully Perk is also going to be hiking the PCT this year, so y'all might see him on some of my updates. So not only are the berries good, but if you're a little stopped up and you eat a bunch of them, that could also take care of that issue. And a lot of them are high in vitamin C and antioxidants. Anyway, those are my favorites, and I hope y'all enjoyed hearing about them. Please feel free to share your favorites below, anything that you've eaten out on the AT that you think somebody else might enjoy. And if any of y'all have been out on the PCT at all and you found any wild edibles or know about any out there, let me know, because I'm going to be out there starting in April. So I'm excited to, you know, see new things. And if you would like to help support me in getting out there on the PCT, you can do so several ways. First, you can become a patron on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. You can do a one-time contribution by clicking the blue button that says support here on this channel, or for free, you can support me by shopping through my Amazon link. So if you've got something you want to buy on Amazon, all you do is click my link, which is in the show more below this video, and it'll take you to my book, which you don't have to buy. But if you go through that link and then you use the search bar and find whatever you're wanting to get, a small percentage of that will go to my PCT fund at no additional cost to you. So it'll cost you the same, but just a percentage will go to my fund. So anyway, thank y'all so much for your support, and we will see y'all next time. Okay, so I am here at Amicalola State Park, and there's this nice little compartment overhead, so that's the opening, where you can put like a headlamp